make no mistake, they will be here to play spoiler against Luminosity Gaming. It's going to be an incredibly close matchup right now, and it begins right here. Let's give it a go. Let's get going. Scooby, what are you expecting from this matchup?
Well, like you said, they can play spoiler, and not everyone out there can be a hero. Sometimes you need a villain, and right now, Guild looking to put on that mask and play their best villain role.
See who gets the better start. It could be all important in a series that could be as close as this one. It's a little bit of early pressure here for Luminosity, but CRR, his clearance is so solid. The mechanics of the young Spaniard are never in question. Already, he's trying these little touches, trying these little fakes, and it puts Guild in such a good position that Tox, the sweeper for Luminosity, has to clear away.
And I really want to see how Devo's going to fit in with CRR and Dorito here. We know that CRR and Dorito have the mechanics, and Devo was known for mechanics way many moons ago, and does he still have it? I want to see how he plugs in the rotation, see how the spacing is going to be, because so far they're giving a lot of space over to Luminosity.
And Luminosity certainly have the mechanics to do something with it, particularly their newest player, Atomic. He has been brought in, and he's not let them down too many times since being brought in. As Ixo gets that pinch along the way, past CRR, who leaves it for Devo. This is a real chance for Ixo now. He's got the flip reset. He just waits for it as well. He wanted Tox to be closing him down. And Tox was a little bit slow there, and that could lead to a counter-attacking chance for Guild, but Ixo swallows up that pressure, and I'd say it's Luminosity that are shading it so far.
Absolutely, as Devo gets much-needed clear, but the rotations right now from Luminosity on point, not giving Guild any space in this defensive half, and Dorito gets it right over Ixo. I love that read. He slows it down. Instead of going for that long booming clear, he kind of baits Ixo in and gets that ball towards midfield, but still haven't gotten a clear, and they're starting to have some boost woes.
Yeah, it's going to be really tricky just to keep something on the some yellow stuff in the car, especially for Luminosity Gaming. Gregan was saying on the Day 1 broadcast yesterday that Tox is more than happy to play with zero boost. He can just chase, he can do chain dashes and keep his momentum going, so when you think he's out the play, he suddenly appears back in it. The Guild seem to have been able to deal with it so far as Dorito races that man Tox to the ball, and CRR keeps the attack going. Good play from Guild, slowly but surely making their way to blue, but Devo and Dorito were so far back, so CRR just has to concede possession.
Oh, a great 50 there as Devo's going to launch one on target, but didn't quite get all of that ball as got away from him. And now we get an opportunity to see what Guild has to present on offense. As I say that, Ixo clears that ball towards midfield. How rude of him to do that, but hey, here we go. Guild again launching a shot, and the fake almost brought Tox out of the net.
And Thomas going to boom this one away. And you have to remember that anybody watching this that's battling to get into that top 5 will be rooting for the team in red. If you are a Solary who disappointed yesterday, you'll be hoping that Guild can keep Luminosity down. Even the teams that want to make it to London that are doing okay, such as Carmine Corp, they'll be rooting for Guild as well because they will not see them as a threat. So Luminosity will know they have the eyes of the Rocket League world watching them right now, and they have to ignore all that pressure, something which maybe in the past they haven't done too good a job of doing. So can they change that with Tox in the air? He does have boost this time. He gets it over the top of Dorito, but CRR and Devo do get it away. CRR then gets a second chance just to get something on the ball. Completely boost starved again. It's Luminosity that are having the vast majority of the boost.
Well, and even after all of that pressure, Cole, the first 3 minutes, Luminosity didn't have one single shot on target. We just got to see the first 2, and that one a little wide as Ixo and Atomic fought over who was going to go for that, and Ixo doesn't rotate out, decides to stay in, even though he is very low on boost. Tox going to clean it up, and CRR passes forward to Dorito, and Dorito is going to be afforded some free space, but Atomic went up a year ago. That pre-jump was insane.
It was insane, and it's exactly what they need. Now we have a huge dunk. The ball's going onto the backboard. CRR puts it to the side, but this is a real chance for some pressure from Luminosity. CRR closing it down quickly, but it does just seem that they're going to be first to pounce Luminosity as Atomic tries to keep that attack going. Devo just in the air slows it down. Devo, whose career just seems to be continuing on and on. He's actually top scored for Guild, or at least most goal participation has been in the lower bracket. CRR comes from nowhere with a bullet, but again, it's just wide.
And as we just saw, 1 minute remaining here in game number 1, and this is where mental fortitude comes into play. First one to make a mistake could definitely lose it for their team, and you know that this is going to be in the back of their minds as Ixo gets bumped out that ball, stays fighting, and about 30 seconds remain here to go up for that ball from Guild. Dorito forced to make a clear, and Not the greatest touch from Luminosity, and Guild gonna clean this one up.
Dorito has a chance here, but Tox beats him to it. Devo now tries to keep that attack going. It's a clean 50-50 from Atomic back towards CRR. I think he got caught in two minds. Does he tee up Devo or does he go for the shot in the end? It was the shot that he chose, but it was pretty weak. And just a few seconds left. Overtime is a little bit. That might change things. Ixo at the near post, but only tee up Devo, who fires away. Devo had an opportunity, but he couldn't take it. And then CRR's shot is saved as well. Disaster for Guild means that they could have taken game one, but it's probably going to be overtime unless Dorito one more chance. Can they keep this one up? CRR, does he leave it for a teammate? It's Devo. Will any more opportunities come? It's looking like not. And understandably, Luminosity just say, reset, reset.
That is the definition of feels backflip man right there. Devo had the shot, and instead of pushing forward on the sticks, hit backwards. And it was the picture-perfect time for the first demo of the game to come out. It's almost like Luminosity fell asleep on the defensive half, didn't realize demos were a part of the game, and bang, Devo struck, opened up the net, but they just couldn't hit the open target, and Tox almost hits the insane angle, but the crossbar denies.
Luminosity, we're listening to you. They now fully realize that demos are part of the game as Ixo puts straight down. Atomic is steaming in, but can't quite get it. This game has come alive with a few seconds left of regulation time and now into the overtime. Atomic is past two, gets over the top. Devo with a magnificent save, reminding us all what he's capable of and why he's on this Guild roster.
Okay, there we go. I thought Devo was going to kind of flash jump at that ball. CRR goes up. Ixo had to pre-jump, and a big demo on the back line as we are going to get a pause here. Looks like Luminosity calling for it. We'll figure out what's going on, keep you up to date, but we want to make sure level playing field is game one, overtime, all tied up, and we saw how important it is for everything to be in sync there.
I was nervous right at the end there when Tox was causing for the pause and there was a clean shot for Dorito. I was thinking, oh no, if he scores this, there could be some controversy afoot, but thankfully, Ixo got that save despite his team being the ones that had called for the pause, and everything can go back to how it was, presumably, when we come straight back. It looks like a controller disconnection from what I'm seeing, so hopefully that won't be too difficult to fix and replicate. But I mean, oh my goodness, that mistake, that miss, there's no other word for it, from Devo at the end. Absolutely gutting for Guild.
It really is. You know, it felt like the first 4.5 minutes were almost lulling us to sleep with the back and forth play. Okay, they're kind of posturing up. They're trying to figure out one another. Okay, here's a shot. Nothing too threatening. And then the final 30 seconds, it was just all go for Guild. And you see right there, Devo missing that ball. And Guild are going to have to not try and remember that one too much, because if they drop this one, it's all going to go back to that misplay.
And this is such an important series for Luminosity in particular. For Guild, of course, they want to win it. They want to get themselves some prize money. There are a couple of young careers, and Devo, of course. But CRR and Dorito, they're really making their foothold in Rocket League Esports right now. But Luminosity, they're the team that have all of this pressure. They're currently 70 points below the top 5. And you look at some of the teams that are already out in that top 5. Vitality have gone. Solary have gone. Semper didn't even turn up today. So there really is an opportunity to break into the cherished position of being able to go to a major. But Luminosity have to hold their nerve, and they will be counting their lucky stars that, having overcommitted at the end and succumbing to a demo, maybe being too static in defense, they weren't punished, and they have to take that and run with it.
Yeah, and for Luminosity, they've, like you were kind of alluding to, they need to just put those blinders up. Not worry about London, not worry about what the implications of this match are. Just focus on this match and each game within it. Focus on winning game one, focus on getting your best of 3 out of the way, then you can focus on what's next. But for Luminosity, yeah, I feel like they got away with one for sure there. They left that backline open up, and no fault of their own. They got demoed off of it, only had one man back at that point in time. But my, oh my, I cannot believe that it happened. And we're still waiting to see what's going on with this controller issue. Hopefully we can get a new cord. Hopefully we got a new controller backup. I don't know what it is. Or maybe we got to play KBM.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking. Who is Luminosity's sub? Is it their coach? I'm not even sure, actually. So we'll check up on that. Hopefully it won't come down to that. But we saw yesterday, it only takes a split second for something like that to happen. Their coach is Snasky. So maybe we'll have Snasky making an appearance on the pitch. That
wouldn't be too bad.
That'd be all right. One for the old guard right there. Seeing Snasky back in the RLCS. But obviously, we don't actually want that. We want to see Luminosity's full roster play in this entire series. And We know that they have... I'm finding out now that it's East, not Snasky. So they do have a sub. I was lied to. Unbelievable. Thank you, T-Rex. Yeah. But yeah, their core roster has so much mechanical potential. And we didn't really see it in the opening of that first game because Guild are defending, for the most part, pretty well.
Yeah, they're playing really well on that back wall. They're always consistently having someone up above that crossbar, someone sitting patiently in net, and someone almost playing like a spy position, able to go through those corners or the top of the box, whatever it is, they're able to pull out and challenge those passing plays. So Luminosity not able to get much going, especially if they're trying to work their offense through the corners or off of that back wall. Easily cleaned up from Guild, but it looks like we are gonna about to get into game here. We're going to test the controller out. Hopefully everything is working well like we were talking about. This is game number 1, our first overtime of the day, 57 seconds into it. And it does look like we are starting in about 5 seconds or so. We'll see if everything goes well, and hopefully this kickoff can go in favor. And I'm going to say it right here. And Luminosity, they had the ball control. I want to see him maintain it here. And boom, just like that, Devo's going to get him started right where they left off.
Yeah, CRR with a snapshot of the near post. Ixo gets the save and then gets bundled away from that defensive position. So it's a really good kickoff actually for Guild right there. Luminosity, though, did do well to survive it. And hopefully everybody can settle down now and get this series on with. As Dorito puts it to the side, CRR's taken out the game. Luminosity, since you mentioned there weren't too many demos in this series, this is really risky. Devo's trying to buy himself some time onto the backboard. CRR wants to follow it up, but can't quite do it. But since you mentioned it, Subi, Luminosity have been going for some demos.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the play. When you have someone as stingy as Guild on that back line playing so patiently, you've got to do something to disrupt that and cause a little bit of panic inside of them so they can possibly have a couple mistakes of their own on the defensive half as CRR looking for a big clear. And I love that going opposite corner with that ball catches Luminosity off guard. And as I say that, Atomic gets the pinch to put it right back into the orange half.
You have to credit Guild's defense. I mean, they're up against a team that in the lower bracket, both Ixo and Atomic have averaged over 1 goal every single game just by themselves. So managing to keep all 3 of them down to not scoring and keep a clean sheet up to this point says a lot about the team composition of Guild, but they're not just overly reliant on CRR and Dorito grabbing some goals and outscoring the opposition. Leaves us in this very tight first game. All-important first goal, maybe about to come from Atomic, but he puts it wide. Does then get a bump. Dorito and Devo will be able to see it away themselves. Good touch there from Dorito. Tox gets the read on it, but now it falls to Devo, who goes for the instant shot this time, mixing up his approach after going for the backboard earlier. More good defending from Luminosity. Ixo again is looking a little bit sketchy for them. Guild's starting to shade this one.
Yeah, they're working them east to west here, constantly using a lot of boost to get to that ball, and Luminosity, the Atomic and Ixo got a 3rd boost in the tank. They're going to have to push forward and just deal with it as all 3 go for Guild. Goal line is wide open, but Devo gets a crucial clear back to the blue half, and Ixo pops that one into the corner over to Atomic, and they're passing plays with one another. So far through one game, so impressive. They seemingly always know where each other are.
They do, but Luminosity always seem to be a little bit too boosted for my liking, and I was saying earlier that Tox is happy to play with none, but every time you see one of them coming forward with a chance for a solo play, we cut back to their teammates for Luminosity, and they've just got nothing. They just have to sit still and bull watch and hope the ball's going to fall to them. I do want to see Luminosity maybe time their approach just that little bit better. Make sure there's somebody there that can make the most of the second balls if they were to drop to them.
Oh, and Ixo believed that Devo was going to get that second touch and pre-jumped, going for the block on it. Got put out of position, did get the touch, but that's why we're seeing Guild maintain pressure here. Dorito slows things down, has CRR top of the box, and Atomic smelled that one from a mile away, disrupts the play, and again, we continue in overtime.
And that's great defending from Atomic. He went straight towards where it was needed, but Guild are continuing this approach. So he tries to slow it down, but he gets dunked, and Dorito does get game 1 for Guild.
Oh, Dorito crunches this ball into the net. Ixo tries to slow it down, loses control, and just like that, Guild steal away game number 1.
It was a 3-point attack there with Dorito at the peak of it, just charging down the defense. You cannot take that much time when you are the only player in front of your own goal. It was his 7th shot in the game, Dorito, certainly the spearhead of this Guild attack throughout. And Luminosity, that's going to shake them even more. They had to, survive having a bit of a technical pause there. They got themselves back into the overtime, and still they lost it. They can have no excuses, and I'd say that Guild maybe just about shaded that.
Absolutely. And you've also got to think about what this does for Devo. It could have been disaster for him and put him on tilt mode if they would have lost this game. But hey, you still won it. That whiff means nothing. Yeah, you had to play an extra 4 minutes of Rocket League, but all that does is get those thumbs warmed up even more. So like we said, Guild Esports up 1 game in this best of 5 in the lower bracket. And reminder, the team that does lose this, it's the end of the weekend for them from this point forward.
Yeah, maximum pressure within this game, and as you say, from this point forward as well. It's unsurprising to see Guild with such a close series right now, since they've been in the lower bracket. That win they had against Vitality, the final game they had was a 1-0 victory yet again. So this is a team that isn't afraid to just score 1 goal and hold everything they have. And I think what we're seeing is that Guild are more than capable of doing that. They have to be actively broken down. They're not going to throw away any goals. And when you're sort of the underdog going into pretty much every series, as Guild are on that bubble of 16th, 17th, 18th, you have to be solid first and foremost. And Guild are certainly managing that.
No, definitely. And for any team out there that is comfortable playing on a 1-0 lead, Guild definitely up there. We saw that backline defense being so stingy, not even allowing a shot in the first 3 minutes of gameplay. So the fact that they can do that against a team like Luminosity, who has been averaging, 2 goals per game, it says a lot here to shut them out in game number 1.
Yeah, they looked so good as well, Guild, at doing what it is that they do best, which is just to... Well, I was about to say to take the chances, but I've almost forgotten the fact that there was a huge miss of a big chance at the end. But had Devo taken that, had he not backflipped, we'd be looking at Guild taking the win in regulation time and saying, wow, they did everything asked from them. Luminosity started off a little bit stronger, had a lot of ball control, but as soon as Guild came forward, they started to make Luminosity seem that they were rushing somewhat, and boost control really seemed like it was Guild's more often than not.
Absolutely. Like you said in the game, every single time that we saw Luminosity pushing forward, making an offensive surge, it just really fell down to the second and third members not having enough boost in the tank to follow things up. So they had to either rotate out or go for a 50-50, which, yeah, it was a good 50, but it wasn't anything that they could maintain pressure with. So for game number 2, I'd like to see Luminosity definitely focus not only on field positioning, but going for those boost steals in the back half for Guild, trying to boost starve them, but then also tying that in with a couple demos, make them feel uncomfortable on that back line, pull them out a little bit, do something different rather than just slamming the balls into the corners off of that back wall.
It's certainly where Luminosity seemed at their scariest, when they'd taken one of the Guild players out of the pitch. But I mean, again, that's credit to Guild to not succumbing when in that situation. I think my biggest critique for Luminosity right now is twofold. One, I mentioned that when a player is going for a solo play, their teammates tended to be 1, way back in their own half, and 2, pretty much boostless, so they couldn't support them. So if the player didn't score a complete solo goal, the attack would come to nothing. But 2, the solo plays from Luminosity weren't really all that. I didn't feel scared in Guild's position when Ixo would come forward with full ball control. And we know that when Ixo comes forward with full ball control, he should be able to score against teams like Guild.
Well, and for Guild, it's just so much pressure put on Luminosity. They're not giving them any free space, any time to work with. Someone like Ixo, yeah, if he gets that ball and you give him enough space, he can cut you to shreds. But Guild didn't give him any opportunity to do that. And even when he was coming off the ceiling, coming off of the wall, there were no flip resets that were really challenging Guild's defense. And like you said, making them feel scared at all.
So Luminosity are potentially running out of chances if they want to make a late surge to London and perhaps beyond. Guild, they wanted to play spoiler, and so far they're doing that so effectively. Already a chance for them early in game 2. Dorito takes his time, and he dodges it home.
All 3 members of Luminosity put on a clip here. See you later, Atomic, and talks right over the top of you. I love that he slows this play down and then puts it back in fast forward.
I've seen that a few times recently, that first touch that loops over the defense. I think we saw it from Oski yesterday in Liquid, and we saw it earlier on, at least an attempted effort at it from Devo, who went to the backboard and tried to follow it as well. So first touches are getting more creative from these teams, and that was such a lovely example from Dorito. The hapless defense flying past it. Here he goes again. Guild continue their surge. Looking good in game 2.
Oh, and I like that play from Devo. Kind of baiting Tox in, saying, okay, you go ahead challenge first. I'm going to wait to see what your first move is. As Devo moves in and doesn't even worry about the ball. Goes for the boost, just causes chaos for Atomic. Causes him to lose the ball slightly there, and a big miss from Ixo off that wall, and we've got to question the mechanics there.
Will keep coming though. Atomic takes out Dorito. Wants to get the ball, but instead just leaves it to his teammate Ixo. How much can he do with 100 boost? Going across the center of the pitch, there's Devo just flying past him, but unfortunately, Dorito and CRR managed to combine to get it all the way back. Both teams just lobbying attacks forwards. Not really too much spice on any of these solo plays right now. Things seem to have slowed down in the middle of the pitch somewhat as both teams wrestle for central control. This, though, could change everything. CRR gets one touch, Dorito a second one. Ixo, how much work has he done on the backboard just swatting that ball away?
And Atomic forced to go up as well. No boost left in the tank for Devo. He's going to have to rotate out on this play as that ball's put up. And what a touch there, but Atomic can't catch up. CRR was kind of feeling that pass was coming out from Ixo as Guild doing a great job on this back half. They continue to swat those shots away, and it just seems like everything that Luminosity is pulling out of the bag of tricks, Guild saying, yep, seen that before.
Yeah, nothing's really seeming to be phasing them right now. They always have a third player back, ready just to get rid of things. Tox, can he go solo? Can he do anything? CRR gets over the top and gets a really important touch on the ball, but it still falls to Atomic, who goes for the dunk. Unfortunately for Luminosity, it heads just wide, but maybe signs of danger from Luminosity. That one's going in. CRR, though, he had the reflexes to get it away. The attack keeps on coming, and finally, Tox gets Luminosity's first goal of the series.
And this was just all down to Ixo refusing to be denied, refusing to rotate out of that corner. Got 2 important touches, 2 important 50-50s, and he pulled 2 Guild defenders out of the net. And Luminosity get their first goal of the series.
Luminosity have just bought themselves a little slice of momentum, and they have to keep on fighting to try and grab that whole pie. But already it's Guild coming forward straight after the restart. Tox. Good pace from him, and this is role in the team. Make sure that he's aware and able to get in the way of any attacks coming up against them, and then link forward some for their own, as he's done exactly well right there. Atomic sadly had no boost, though, and that particular attack comes to nothing. But Luminosity showing that their team composition can still be effective against Guild. He's going to lose that ball, though. Atomic, Devo, and CRR. Can any of them get there? No, not quite. Dorito can't put it home either. The ball just wouldn't fall for Guild, but that was a case of overcommitting for Luminosity.
Absolutely, sending 2 forward, and they almost got punished for it, but thankfully Guild couldn't quite do anything with it as CRR pops that one up and kept it away from his teammates there. I'm not sure if he realized, okay, they're both forward but out of position and can't do much with that ball, so I'm just going to try and keep this one away, buy time for them to race back on defense. But here comes Ixo trying to keep things alive. Atomic puts it into the corner. CRR, big clear downfield, and Tox is going to beat out Dorito. You saw that play developing, and you've got to be a little... Okay, this is going to be a big play here for Guild, but I didn't see Tox rotating back. My apologies.
That's all right. Good pass there from CRR towards Dorito. And there's actually a huge bump. It will be 2-1 unless they completely fluff this one. Luminosity have turned it round.
Wow, what a challenge here. Atomic goes up, and you see the bump at midfield. Dorito was thinking about rotating back, and that's all it was a thought. As Luminosity going to go up 2-1.
Am I the only one that was scared that Tox was going to save that there? I saw him cutting across the middle, and I thought, oh no, please don't do it, Tox. Stay out the way. Just let the ball roll in. And thankfully for Luminosity, that's exactly what he did. And for the first time in this series, Luminosity have a lead. Now, can they make their, at least on paper, mechanical advantage count? Devo is charged down by Atomic. This is what Luminosity have been doing so well. Against Na'Vi yesterday, they had an on-paper advantage. They won it 3-0. You know, whenever they're expected to win a series, they tend to do so. And Guild will be expected to go on and lose this one from here. So now it's up to Guild for themselves to step up. We know that they can do more. CRR to the center. His pass yet again just slightly off. And for all the good he's doing, his passes haven't quite been working. But that one might. Devo off the crossbar gets Guild back in it.
Wow, tucks that one in, and CRR gets a nice pass utilizing the side wall as an extra player. 4th man coming into play, and Devo, like I said, just tucks it in and ties it up for Guild.
I had noticed, actually, that CRR's passes were a little bit wayward, and I thought, I mean, his one just before getting that perfect one was as well. So it seems that he's improved in that regard. Now Dorito can improve their scoreline. Not quite. So close for another chance for Guild. I asked them to step up. They have done indeed. They have exactly done that. Atomic is going to just try and buy his team some time. Luminosity have to be solid here because Guild, they're stepping up.
Absolutely, and they're punishing Luminosity as well as Ixo punishing the back line, and Dorito realized it at the last second, said, wait a second, there was a demo. It wasn't from my team as TRR goes up and Tox dunks that one in, absolutely destroying the Guild defense.
How's he got that one in then? It was great play on the back wall from Ixo. And then Tox, it was a massive dunk on CRR. There was only one place he could put the ball, and unfortunately, it was into the dive of the eventual finish. Well played, Tox. Sets his team up with 7 seconds to hold to get themselves back in the series. It's a decent kickoff, though, from Gil. Devo onto the back wall. Ixo's touch is far away enough. He had some help from his Luminosity teammate. And that, depending on Devo's touch, should be that. Ixo, though, has left the ball. Dorito finds CRR. This could be a chance for a counter. CRR's getting demoed, though. They're out the game. It's 1-1 in the series.
I forgot to check his rearview mirror there, and Luminosity pulling out the aggression to take game number 2. I love to see it. And, you know, Cole, I don't know what they call it over there across the pond, but over here in America, that's called posterizing someone. And that's exactly what Tox did there, was put the defense on a poster. You love to see it.
Yeah, you do. It's brilliant play from Luminosity. They had to start taking some risks because Guilds were seemingly able to hold them at arm's length for minutes at a time. They did exactly that. And I love that as well. Yeah, Tox squeezing in. CRR would have thought 100% that he had the clear. So a very frustrating way to lose that second game for Guilds. And I think Luminosity, they're just sort of suggesting why they were favorites going into this one there.
Absolutely, and that's a big brain play right there. Okay, time's ticking down. We're less than 10 seconds to go. Probably not a good opportunity for Guild. If they do get that touch, it's going to go into their own corner anyway. So, hey, there's not really any harm in us going for a triple commit here. And Tox going just, okay, we're all in. Let's just go for it. And it paid off so well there. So smart. And that's what separates a team like this from being in the top 10 to the top 5, is making the most of these situations, but also making the most, kind of like what you were talking about earlier, when they're expected to win, that's what they're doing. They can't be losing to teams that they're on paper supposed to be beating.
That's the rub of it as well. You know, it can take you from the top 10 to the top 5. It can also take you from the top 10 to the top 15 if those risks don't work. So you have to be brave on the day. And frankly, you have to hope that luck is somewhat on your side. And for Luminosity, it just seems to be switching as we go into game 3, and they start it off really well. Atomic, a huge hit towards the backboard. But Devo doing some neat and tidy work to defend it as well.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree. I feel like, yes, a little bit of luck on the side of Luminosity. We've seen some balls from Guild that haven't gone in that maybe should have, maybe shouldn't have. But one thing that I am seeing as this series goes on is the confidence for Luminosity is just continuing to grow as every second ticks down off that clock.
Oh, a huge boost grab there from Atomic as well. He's going to keep this attack in play. He can also do a really aggressive half rotation here if and when he chooses to. It's Tox that tries to tee him up. His touch is a little bit goal with those, so Devo can just boot the ball away for now. But this is more what we were expecting going into this series. Continued Luminosity pressure. Any second it's feeling like Guild are going to concede a goal. They've all got boost now as well. At least 30 of them between each at minimum. Ixo with 100. Takes a couple of touches. Dorito closes it. And a huge demo from Devo, but that's barely going to slow Luminosity down. Tox around the corner. Guild on the ropes somewhat right now.
Right, and all that demo does is really just force that third man saying, okay, I know what I need to do now. All I do is push forward. I know that we have a third man all the way back on our goal line. So easy decision-making for Luminosity there. Is I do love to see defensive demos, but unfortunately for Guild, that one there kind of worked against them.
Devo's first touch is really nice again, and he has to make sure he's keeping his consistency in that regard because they are getting so many clean ones as Ixo just gets completely faked out by Dorito, and then CRR takes himself out as well. It's going to leave it to Atomic to do a few little dribbles. But Devo's sweet stuff. He's getting better in this series, Devo, as it goes along.
And he's getting more aggressive as Ixo gives a little payback there. Dorito beats out Atomic, and Dorito very brilliant second touch. We've seen so many times Dorito able to slow down that ball, and Dorito also got the bump on Tox, but wasn't able to remove him from the pitch. And Guild going to maintain some offensive pressure here. And as I say, that ball goes right back down the field. And Luminosity, it's your turn.
Yeah, Guild just looking a little bit staggered in attack, but it does seem to be working, confusing Luminosity with decisions that they wouldn't be expecting, like Devo rotating back there. So then he gets to go in there a little bit later. It tees up Dorito, and he puts it away.
Dorito, a goal apiece in every single game here is Devo, nice soft touch, kind of freezes Atomic on that back line, and Dorito gets a nice double tap off of the post to put Guild up by 1 right at halftime.
Tell you what, they like using the walls, don't they, Guild? Like sort of doing these little self-assists, trying to force an angle. And it's definitely something that Luminosity seem to be struggling to deal with every now and then at least. But he can dribble as well, and he can ping it home.
That is just not fair. The ball control here, Ixo shows that his car's made of Velcro, just sticks to the top of it and flicks it at the picture-perfect moment right at the top of the box. And Guild, they got the taste what a lead felt like for 8 seconds, and Luminosity rips it away.
That's what good mechanics and a little bit of boost in the tank can do. Suddenly, you get yourself a goal back and you're feeling on top of the world. Atomic's lost that 50-50 to Dorito. Ixo, thankfully for Luminosity, was all the way back. But Guild's going to keep on coming here. Dorito has a chance for a redirect. Toxin only slow him down for now. Devo tries to prod it home. It falls to CRR, and Atomic, with the all-important touch, keeps Luminosity alive.
There was one spot you couldn't hit that ball, and that's exactly where CRR hits it. You hate to see it, but sometimes it just gets away from you as that redirect goes all the way downfield. Atomic just creating pressure, forcing Dorito into a bad touch as CRR goes up. It's the nice touchdown, but Tox ready and waiting on that back line, realizing how important this game number 3 is.
Luminosity, though, are still getting so much space to Guild when they attack, and it's giving a lot of free touches like that one there. They're happy to defend it from the backboard, but at some point, Guild will start punishing this passiveness that Luminosity is showing in defense. The reason they're doing it is this, that when they do counter, they can counter with numbers and speed and boost, and it almost gets all the way through just then and there. It's still 1-1, but the play style of both teams is really clear to see right now.
Well, that's nice dive there from Atomic, and that ball goes right off the hood to Ixo. And yeah, all these plays for Luminosity, well, I shouldn't say all of them, is Demo on the back half, traded between Ixo and Devo. We're going to slow down just for a second, but back to what I was saying is, there's a few plays here that I'm seeing from Luminosity where they should be getting scored on. All 3 members bunched up in the same corner, and somehow, not only do they get a clear, but it turns into a great offensive opportunity as that one rattles off the post.
That was a beautiful note that you just had there, Subi. Thinking, for yourself, mate, as that one almost went in out of nowhere. CRR, thank you, beautiful, yeah. Serenade us as we talk about Rocket League. Here's Atomic. Can he score here with the beauty of Subi sitting behind us? Not quite. Ixo now tries to keep the attack going. Any goal here could be all important with just 20 seconds left. CRR, great touch from him. And he has got boost. He's got Devo in front of him. Devo actually forces the angle past Atomic. Tries to flick it in and pops. Oh my goodness. What a touch that was, but still the attack goes. CRR gets himself a flick reset, but Ixo closes it away. It's looking like overtime all over again.
Yeah, unless this ball just continues to hang in the orange half as Devo launches that one up the side wall and no one there. So Luminosity looking to push downfield, and CRR will gladly send us into our 3rd overtime. And both teams so close-knit. But I'll tell you what, Cole, this series has opened up in terms of offensive production.
It has, and this is the 2nd overtime of the series. The first one won by Guild, lest we all forget. Atomic, though. Huge clearance. Wants to get the 2nd touch, but can't quite do it. Still chases his own tail, gets the ball in the end. He won't do too much with it. That's a huge clearance from Devo as well. So Guild going for these massive hits over the top of all the Luminosity players, and they do venture forward. And for themselves, Luminosity defending pretty deep as well. So an intriguing composition right now as Dorito gets this first touch for himself from the ceiling. Tries to follow it up, wanted that next touch.
Not a good touch.
The ball, but it does fall to CRR, and Guild take 2 overtimes in a row.
Oh, not a great touch at all on the back line, and CRR just going to clean this one up. Atomic thought he had a lot more space than he actually did, and I love that little feint from CRR. Okay, go ahead and touch it close, and pounces, and Guild go up 2-1 in the series over Luminosity.
I can see why Luminosity are defending so deep, because when they do get ball control, suddenly Guild have to turn on a sixpence and chase back, and it can be really dangerous against Guild and for Luminosity. But when it doesn't work, when they just hesitate that split second too long, you're really putting yourself in a tough position. And as we look through this replays, for the overtime winner, just keep an eye on Ixo, because he's on that backboard, and I've got a feeling his teammate would have been wanting him to go for the ball, and they just didn't.
That's a tough spot to be going for. I don't know. I think you've got to try and just get a power touch on that ball. Having both players so close to the goal line, I mean, that's a snap
Tricky.
call. You
They get
either go
themselves in
for it
trouble,
or you
don't
don't. And it's, yeah, it is tricky, but I like what Guild's doing here because they're kind of capitalizing on what you were talking about that Luminosity is doing, where they're pushing forward and the second and third members don't have a lot of boost. So what's the best way to counter that? Let's bomb that ball downfield, force them to rush back, but they're not going to be able to utilize a lot of boost to get there. They've got to try and flip to gain some momentum, utilize some wave dashes, whatever they have to do, but it's putting them out of position. And right now, Guild is winning that chess battle.
Yeah, I mean, Guild, they're also showing that they are more than up for the fight. Just to qualify to be here, it went to a 5th series, which they won. The tournament before, they lost the 5th series in qualification, which meant that they didn't quite make it. And now they're into Game 5 again. They've been winning overtimes again. They've had Game 5s. They're just showing that they're not giving up anything right now. As Devo comes in, and CRR just backflips at home for the easiest goal of his career.
Yeah, that's just an easy one. And I think Luminosity forgot we were playing out of the kickoff here. Is nobody home, and 9 seconds in, Guild gonna take a lead here. And one thing is for certain, Luminosity obviously gonna want to try and get that one back, but they're gonna want to try and win this in regulation. As Guild on a 5-game win streak in overtimes.
Yeah, you can see why as well. They just don't change their play style at all. And they do seem to be swarming Luminosity every time we do go into an OT. Luminosity have to make sure right now that they don't shrink. They don't fall into their shells and let Guild walk all over them. If you want to make it to London, Luminosity, it's moments like this where you have to fight and keep on pushing and win this series.
Wow.
Ixo tries to get them going, but it's not quite happened. And Tox, it's so frustrating for him. He's just got to turn around, scuttle all the way back, and hopefully build another attack. It has come in the
Great
end.
pass.
It's Tox, but it's saved by Dorito and Ixo.
Oh, barely missed the power shot there. Had to put a little more oomph behind that ball. Didn't quite get it. And back to what you were saying of you don't want to see Luminosity climb into their shells. I'll kind of go on the opposite side and say I agree with you, but I also don't want to see them get too aggressive. I don't want to see them panic here. They've got plenty of time to work with. Until you get down to about 30 seconds, that's when you need to send everything in the kitchen sink. But right here, just keep playing how you're playing. You had a mistake early on in the game. Don't force a gameplay shift just quite yet.
No, you're dead on. It's why this is such a hard esport to play. The balance that you have to show every second is just so difficult to get right. So far, Guild have been getting it right. Dorito pre-jumping that one, and Tox send the ball to the corner, and then Ixo slightly misjudges the read and has no boost as well. So CRR can escape for Guild and get a huge dunk. Can he get the bump on Tox? He can. Oh, no one was there, but what work from CRR.
Oh, he wants this one so bad. He got the early goal as here he comes off the backboard as well. That one gonna get away, but no, 50-50, a little neutral there, but Dorito close enough to clean it up, and Ixo gets that boost. Gonna try and work with it, but that second touch, not the greatest. Got away from him. Gonna turn this ball over. And Guild, another opportunity. That one's on target, but Tox rotates back.
Guild at the moment winning pretty much every 50-50 as well, and it just keeps on sending Luminosity back. They have to go for these big air dribbles, but Atomic and CRR taking each other out will open things up a little bit. How's that first touch from the Luminosity player? Not ideal. It does fall to Tox in the corner, who tries to get it past. He does, but CRR manages to recover, and Ixo didn't quite have the power that he needed.
Oh, he was sideways. You got to get the nose towards the front of the ball there and didn't get any power. But again, we've just reached into the second half here. Plenty of time for Luminosity to work with, but going up against one of the stingiest defenses, a team bump on the back half, and Devo going to try and clean things up, but Tox rips that away and gets a little bit of space, comes off the ceiling, Ixo off the backboard, but the follow-up from Atomic. But almost, what? How did Ixo reach this?
What a follow-up there from Ixo. Look at this. He gets the first. Oh, he got bumped. He got bumped and then he fell down. Does he get the dodge as well? He does. That is genius from Ixo. A goal that looks even better in the replay than it does live. Equalizes things for Luminosity.
He doesn't panic as he gets bumped and realizes, okay, I got bumped. That means I still have a flip in my tank. Let's just hold on to this, see what happens. And he's falling from the heavens, uses the flip at the perfect time. Oh my goodness, that's one of the greatest goals I have ever seen.
It was beautiful, and it's exactly the sort of goal that can just wake you up in a series when you know you're not playing your best. Luminosity have to keep on pushing, really trying to make this current mind advantage count. And they're doing some good defending right now, sending Guilds back. How's their first touch? Tox's one is just a little bit floaty, so CRR follows it. Atomic then flicks it on a towards CRR. It's just a little bit dangerous for Luminosity in defense again. Maybe just a little bit too hyped up after that brilliant goal from Ixo.
I'm still hyped up. I'll tell you what, woke us up here on the west coast of the United States. That is for sure. But as we near 1 minute to go, will the tides shift back in favor of Guild Esports as Devo looked for a boost steal, didn't quite get it, gets the touch, but he is out of position here. Talk's going to push this over to the side, and 60 seconds to go here. Luminosity looking to take advantage of this.
Next goal could be all important in this series. Talk's trying to make it happen for Luminosity. Tries to get the next touch as well, but Devo just nips in there. Loses the challenge though to Ixo. Ixo gets it clean, and Ixo then is going for some bumps and stuff as well. So you see Luminosity still playing in front of the ball, despite all the pressure on this situation. CRR is in trouble. He's got no boost. He needs Dorito to help him, and he manages to get the boost. There's a huge miss. There's a massive miss.
No way.
There's a potentially series and London-ending miss.
Oh no, I loved that he went for it, but he was trying to put it straight down center instead of just going for the good angle, hit it off the sidewall, let your teammates rotate back. And CRR, second goal of this game, puts Guild Esports up by 1. 32 seconds to go, and oh no, CRR extends the lead even further.
When it's not your series, it is just not your series. They've fought so hard, Luminosity, but Guild have just stayed in control of the situation for way too much of every single game. And now 2 goals to the good. Surely they're going to see it away, put themselves into that top 6. It might even be another from kickoff. CRR will get some boost. Luminosity look down and out right now. They need something so quickly. And thanks to CRR getting all these extra little touches, they can't even get the ball at the moment.
Yeah, CRR shooting 60% in this game. And it sounds crazy, but when you saw the shot... Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh,
things are going to get interesting here. 8 seconds to go, Cole. But all eyes have to be on this next kickoff.
It's going to be a sprint finish right now. There was a double commit there from the Guild defense. Luminosity, what do you have left? Turn to your teammates. Hope, pray that they take any chances they get. Ixo loses the kickoff to Dorito, and Dorito is going to want to just take off as much time as he possibly can and then get it to the center. But someone needs to get it here. Top is waiting, but it just falls straight down. Luminosity is straight out of there. Guild remain in the competition.